Bryant is married to Frank Bryant. He's dead by this point. She's got Blanche, she's got Myrtle, she's got H.H. Bryant, and she's got C.B. Bryant. So she has 4 children, and she's on her own. And so she moves to Muskogee, Indian Territory, and begins sort of like Susan did. Takes her brood from Missouri and goes to a state where she has no connections and sets up a life. What's very, very interesting is, of course, they keep their ties with the rest of the family. So they keep their ties with her husband's brothers and sisters. So Susan's other 9 children who are still in Kansas. And they get educated. This is amazing. So this is the first college graduates when blacks weren't even, were at that point still struggling to read and write in the Deep South. She sends her kids to Kansas to get educated. And she sends them to Emporia Agricultural Normal School, which is one of the only universities, only colleges in this 4-state area of Colorado, Nebraska, Indian Territory, and Kansas that allows blacks to enroll. So, I mean, she's really thinking, right? Like, she's a woman with a mission. She's down in a town where there's a successful insular black community, and she sends her kids back after moving from Missouri to Oklahoma. She sends her kids back to Kansas to live with her brother's relatives so they can go to college. To me, that's just absolutely fascinating. So that's Lucy, right? Her oldest child goes to school with none other than Carrie Langston, the mother of Langston Hughes, who, of course, were a multiracial family who had left Missouri, left Kentucky, then went to Missouri, then came to Kansas. And, of course, knowing, at this point that Emporia Agricultural Normal School was one of the few schools that allowed blacks, coloreds to enroll. He's in the same class with Carrie Langston, So I thought that was fascinating. That's H.H. Bryant. And then there is his younger brother, C.B. Bryant. So from there, and you can see here, oh gosh, it's so small. This is in the Perry Mirror. So if you look here, this is actually a notice in the Perry Mirror paper, which Alice had told me about. So there was this little leaflet. Alice, do you remember you telling me about this? Okay. Alice told me about this little leaflet that came out maybe twice a week, which was the news of Perry. And if you've ever been back to Kansas, you know that Perry is very small. I'm being very diplomatic. It's still very small. And the Bryants were one of the prominent colored families there. So what you've got here, which we try to blow up, is an announcement in the Perry paper that Lucy Bryant, who at that point had moved back to Kansas, is moving her family to Indian Territory. And that they have secured successful jobs. I'm sorry, I can't see it. Where they have accepted good positions in public schools there. Adrian Bryant, so she had 5 kids actually. I forgot about Adrian. Adrian Bryant will go there to attend school this coming week. So Adrian is the smallest child, is the youngest child. So Adrian is actually taught in the Indian Territory. So you've got the small newspaper, right? This is big news. Like, one of their hometown families is going to Indian Territory. So at some point, obviously, they've already established ties to the black community there, the stable economic and kind of privileged group, right? They've already got jobs. They're already got, their kid is going to be enrolled in school there, and she's the next Susan Bryant. She's taking after her mother-in-law, right? So let's go from Lucy Bryant to Eva Willis, which is very interesting. So this is a perfect example of trading on your this transmigration, transracial identity, transmigration. using these building blocks, right, your past experience, your education, in order to move to the next level, right, the step up. And what I think is very interesting is that I believe that, you know, if we had more of our Latino and African American family, our children, knowing this history, they could actually envision for themselves, right? Yeah. How do you get from step A to step B to step C? How do you get from this point to this point? And how do you make a life for yourself when you feel like you have absolutely nothing? How do you educate yourself? How do you encourage yourself to keep going if you have a mother who's strung out on drugs and you've got no father or you don't have those role models? How do you do that? You know, that's why I'm such a big proponent of history, is the fact that you take models out of a history book, yeah. Right? Yeah. If you don't have those models within your family, you actually use those models that you can actually look up and you read and you learn their history, yeah. So that you can take on for yourself that identity and hopefully aspire to that.